We as humans are the only species that is blessed with the power of speech. And the true power, can you think where does it come from? It comes from the words that we use, the thoughts that we think, and then the emotions that we feel. There's a very strong relationship between what we think, what we feel, and then finally what we speak out. I learned a very important lesson with an incident which happened very recently, Mr. Toastmasters and my fellow Toastmasters. A couple of days back, I was down with fever and I visited the doctor close to my house. It was a long queue, and which the time that I waited for almost felt like eternity. And then finally, the nurse called out my name and said, "You are in next." What a sigh of relief. And then all of a sudden, there was a lady who came inside, went directly to the nurse, spoke something to her, and the next thing that I heard was, "Madam, you are in next." I felt cheated. But the kind of state that I was in, I couldn't argue much. And when the lady turned a bit, I could see her face and I could make out that she's under terrible pain. That made me think, well, maybe she deserves to go in first. And then suddenly from the doctor's cabin, a man dressed in casuals came out, held her hand with a smile and took her inside. Waiting there made me feel more sick. All those thoughts that were going on in my mind at that time. I waited for approximately 10 long minutes, after which the lady came out. The first thing that I noticed when she came out was that there was a bright smile on her face, as if she had transformed into a totally different person. She even told the nurse that his words cure me better than the medicines. I couldn't figure that out at that moment, because then I was waiting for my turn to go in and meet the doctor. So when I entered inside, I saw that same man dressed in casual sitting on the doctor's seat. When he looked at me, he stood up and introduced himself saying, "Hi, I'm Dr. Chan. How can I make you feel better today?" How can I make you feel better today? I had never heard something like that before. And then our conversation struck, and later on he diagnosed me that I am suffering from flu. But at that time, all those things didn't matter. The way he spoke just made me feel so comfortable. He had not given me any medicines, as if I felt I had already started to feel better. I was curious. I even inquired about that lady as to why he came out and took her inside. Especially, you don't do that for me. And he said, "Yeah, she's a special patient. She's suffering from terminal illness, and she has very few days left for her. I know I cannot help her out with my medicines. She just comes here, and I talk to her, just have heart-to-heart talks, and she just feels better with that." When I came out from there, I felt really different. I said, wow, this doctor is not only treating with his medicines, but he's treating with his words as well. And then it dawned to me that if words have such an important impact on our emotional and our physical self, then we all can be self-healers. And we can also heal others. It's not that kind of medicine where we call it an alternative medicine. Maybe it's probably a supplementary medicine. It helps you along the way with your regular ones. Let me illustrate this. There was a story, I'm sure some of you might have heard, of a construction worker who fell from a high story and was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The doctor was about to operate him. The guy was still conscious. He asked him, "Do you have any allergies?" Imagine what he must have said. He said, "Yep, gravity." And then he went on to say, "I made one small mistake out there and I landed up here. I'm sure you guys don't make that many mistakes. I want to live." That operation was a success. And later that doctor mentioned that when I actually first looked at the patient, I thought, 10% chance of survival. But then what I did inside was only that 10%. I think the remaining was only because of what he told me, which ultimately motivated me. My friends, words make all the difference. They make all the difference. Just see what makes a difference when somebody tells you, you are hired. And imagine somebody tells you, you are fired. I don't want to hear that. Just imagine how many lives have been changed when you say, I love you. Yet we know very little about the sheer impact that it has on us, and consciously employ that feeling for every word we speak out. I suggest you all this today. Let's do away with all these harsh and derogatory words. Our society has become experts at using words which do not heal. Gossips, skepticism, accusations, etc., etc. If you say something bad to someone else, it doesn't only hurt that person, it works as termites for you as well. It eats you up from within. Let's all explore this area a bit more. Let's be more conscious of what we speak, because it surely has a lot of power. Let's all become doctors without a degree and treat all the people around us for free. Madam